We're gonna get started. Okay?
So are you ready for Gino to initiate the stream?
Yes.
Okay, so Gino, you can initiate it and then just let us know when we are live.
Live.
Okay?
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Spoken to you all. So we will now call the meeting to order. Okay. And I do believe that all of you all have in front of you the minutes from the last meeting. Anybody have any changes or concerns?
I made this person every meeting, but I have one change.
Okay,
Page 3, including the title page, bullet point number 1, 2, 3, 4. I did not move to amend the language for they pronouns. It was Brandon. I just wanted to be sure that that's called out of the meetings, the minutes, sorry.
sorry, what page?
Third page, fourth bullet under that first header there.
Okay,
I didn't catch that in my read through stuff. You're welcome,
so it was not Cameron,
but Brandon.
Brandon.
Credit where due.
All right. Any others? Okay. So I guess I would like to make a motion to amend the September's minutes to read on page 3 that it was Brandon who moved to amend the language that uses he or she pronouns to they. So we could take a vote on that amendment.
You need a second.
Oh, sorry.
Second.
Second, could you state your name when you,
Danielle Gilmer, I second.
okay? And I guess we can vote to amend the meetings and, I'm sorry, your name again? Danielle. Second that motion.
Yep, so then you just vote.
Okay, so I guess we're gonna take a vote on that. All in approval of that, raise your hands. Okay,
Unanimous.
unanimously, it has been moved and voted on that we amend the minutes for September's meeting. All right, so guess we will move on to the next agenda item, reconsideration of the August 24th, 2022 meeting minutes.
And I can actually speak to that, Madam Chair.
Okay.
So after the last meeting, y'all will recall that y'all approved the August 24th meeting minutes. But after that meeting, we did receive an email from Young Hogan. She wasn't present at the meeting. She did catch a change that she wanted to ask that we consider, which she shared that in the August minutes, she shared that the question that she had during the nomination process was actually how long the terms were for both the chair and the vice chair. And she was asking if the expectation was for the vice chair to succeed the chair. So she was hoping that the committee would reconsider those motions with that correction, those minutes with that correction made with them.
So move to accept.
Okay. All right, so
Motion's been made. Yep, okay.
second, yeah.
Tucker seconds.
All right, so it has been
And then you would vote.
correct. So let us vote on amending that was August.
Correct.
minutes, correct?
August 24th, 2022.
August 24th, 2022 minutes.
All in favor?
All in favor? Hands. Thank you. So it has been brought forward, motioned, and voted to amend August 24th, 2022's minutes. Make those.
Okay.
All right. Moving on to old business, the bylaws. Would you speak for that as well?
Yeah.
So at the last meeting, do y'all mind if I sit or do you prefer me to stand? Can y'all hear me?
Oh, members come.
Oh, okay. So, I'm gonna ask you if you'll pull up the PDF copy of, our bylaws. So at the last meeting, we kind of went through the bylaws and some of those outstanding sections that we still needed further discussion and consideration on. And y'all provided a ton of feedback for us. And as you can tell from the, I think 11-page minutes, Micah captured, which thank you, by the way, Micah. We really appreciate all of your hard work. We went through and tried to capture all of those changes and make those within the bylaws. So I just want to kind of quickly, I don't want to waste a lot of your time today, but I do want to kind of show you what changes were made. And you do have them in front of you printed out as well. Anything that's highlighted represents a change that was made. And we'll just quickly go through that if that is amenable to the group. Okay. So I'll go on and tell you that the first change that was made is like on page 4. You can flip to that. It was under organization and we were talking about the duties of the chairperson. I'll let Gino scroll to page 4. You'll see here. If y'all will recall, we kind of read some examples of some other bylaws from the airport authority was the example that I gave. Some of that fit, but not all of it did. And so kind of what we heard y'all share is that we did want to express what the duties of both the chair and the vice chair would be. So the chair would preside at all meetings of the HRC. They would set the agenda for the HRC meetings, maintain order and decorum during the meeting, and represent the HRC in all private or public matters unless another member is appointed to do so by the body. And I do catch that there is a typo there as I'm reading that. So we'll add a so between do and by. I apologize for that. And then on the following page, the chair will also serve as the liaison with the manager for the purpose of assisting in the coordination of activities between the HRC and the mayor and commission. So how does that sound to everybody? Good? For the vice chair, we just simply said, similar to the airport authority, the duties of the vice chair shall be to assume the duties of the chair in their absence. Okay. Then moving on to subcommittees, y'all did express a desire to have the ability to create subcommittees should you choose. So we do have that language in here showing that y'all are able to establish one or more subcommittees and that these are going to be formed at the discretion of the chair. But I did hear in the minutes that we did not want the makeup of those the subcommittees to be made by the chair. We wanted that to be a collective body decision. So we do have that language in here as well. So everybody good with that section? Okay, we'll scroll on, Gino. And then we're on, I think this is page 6. I probably should have numbered these, I'm sorry. Moving on to our favorite part, which was special called meetings. I think we had a ton of discussion on that. Page 6. Right up here, yep. So I will note that that number 2 is entirely changed. Because I added that first sentence there based on language from the attorney's office. So I apologize, I didn't catch that it was not highlighted. But if you will recall, I called into question whether or not we could have a vote of a fewer than a quorum membership in order to establish that special call session. So I sought legal guidance on that because I am not an attorney. And this is the language that they have said that we put in there. So as long as it's under a quorum, so it's not an official vote, then we can have a membership of the body be able to call a special call session, special call meeting. So kind of how that would work is in practice, if 4 members did want to call that, you would then email and you would say, I would like to call for a special call meeting. And you would include, I would include everybody in the body, but you would specifically note who those 4 members are. So it's not a technical vote, but you would say, here are 4 members that would allow for this special call meeting to be called. And then the Office of Inclusion, y'all asked the question, who is going to let us know if there is a special call meeting? That would fall on staff. So we have that language specified here as well. Moving on, Yes.
Just clarifying for my purposes, I know with the mayor and commission, that only so many commissioners can come together outside of a meeting.
Correct.
So based on this language, do we have a restriction on how many of us can be together?
Yes, so based on open meetings law, the quorum for this group is 8. So there at no point in time can be 8 of y'all together without there being a formal meeting. So we would have to actually put that on the ACC Go calendar, and we would have to notice that to the public that that would be a meeting of the group. So as long as there's less than 8, you should be okay. But we always caution even the commissioners that having lunches and discussions with even a group less than 8 can sometimes give the public appearance of impropriety, even if there's not impropriety. So we always caution that if you're gonna have groups, even if it's like 7, like, oh, let's count it out. We're gonna have 7 people go to lunch and then we'll do a 7 here. We just caution to think about public perception as well. But by law, your quorum is an 8. So if it's under 8, you should be fine.
Very helpful. Thank you.
Okay. The next section was about canceling or postponing a meeting. So the chairperson may cancel or postpone a meeting to a later date if there is an agreeable consensus of the HRC. Typically that's done in practice with the chair emailing or texting just to see if people are going to be available or calling for that matter. The chairperson may delegate that responsibility of providing notice to HRC members of any kind of cancellation or postponement to staff. So we have that specified. Any concerns with that page? Okay. Flipping to the very next page. Item 16. We have during the first regularly scheduled meeting of the calendar year, the commission shall approve the upcoming calendar year schedule for its regular meetings. That was something that this group asked for. And then 17, a designated person from the Office of Inclusion shall ensure that an audio-visual recording of each meeting is made, and such audio-visual recording shall be kept according to law. So we do have that. I will caveat this slightly, just as a staff person. There are times that there may be a glitch in the matrix. They do happen, unfortunately. We will do our very best to record it. But we had a similar glitch last time where we did the streaming link, but there was an issue with the internet stream. Luckily, we recorded the meeting and we were able to post it after the fact. But, so I will just say, caveat there, technically by law, if it's an in-person meeting, which we are required to have in-person meetings unless we have an emergency order declaration here in Athens-Clarke County. At any time that it's an in-person meeting, you technically by law don't have a requirement to have that video recording. But it is good practice, especially for a group like this, where you're wanting the public to kind of know what you're talking about and to be engaged. So that's my one caveat there, but if everyone's good at that, we're good to go with that. And then the Office of Inclusion shall take minutes of each meeting, and the minutes will be distributed to the members of the commission at least 5 days before the next meeting. And then we did add language in there that if a member of the commission anticipates missing a meeting, that they will provide advance notice to the chair whenever possible. So that's not a shall, like you have to, but whenever feasible. Are we good with that? Public comments. So y'all shared you wanted 2 public comment opportunities on the agenda, one before old business and one before new. And that there would be a list. So we're going to move forward with a public comment list that would be available. And then the chairperson will call each person or organization in the order shown on the list for public comment. Down in the highlighted section, there was concern about people sharing their address. So we did originally have language in there that mimicked that of the mayor and commission, where people would say my name, first and last, and my address. But I heard the body say, we want to respect people's privacy, that they may not want to share their address. So we limited it here in these bylaws to just first and last name. And that if they want to provide more information, they can, if they want to be contacted, but it's up to the individual. And that if an organization wanted to address the commission, they would be asked to provide the organization's legal name and designate one person to speak on their behalf. Yes.
I want to ask, that doesn't limit it to one person, correct?
No.
That means at least, but if there are
At
4 or
least,
5,
yeah.
that's fine.
That's how I interpret that.
Okay. Good.
Can I say, yeah, that was based on, I remember your comment about that, and I was like, I don't know, like, I didn't want to limit it, but I also didn't want to like, you know, so I just figured that was like good
Yeah, I
language.
just-
Like, is that what you meant?
Yes.
That's, okay.
Perfect. Thank you.
Perfect. Okay, so are we good on that? Oh, I guess we'll flip to the next page, which is also about public comment. There was a lot of concern about decorum and how would we maintain order during public comment and how, like, what would that interaction be like between the HRC and the public commenters? So we do have language here that it will be the responsibility of the chair to maintain order and decorum during the meeting. And so that chairperson can call at any time for a speaker to end their remarks if they refuse to cease speaking after their 3 minutes has passed, or if their comments are inappropriate or offensive. So we do have language in there for that. And that members of the public may be added to the public comment list after the meeting has begun through the chairperson. Okay. Moving along for the agenda, we just added language that the agenda will be distributed to the members of the commission at least 5 days prior to the meeting. And we did add the public comment sections under the agenda structure, just to mimic that language that we've already shared. Okay, moving forward, because I don't see any questions. Adoption of policies and procedures. So we did add language there that shares that generally the staff of the manager's office and Office of Inclusion will assist the HRC with the development and drafting of any kind of policies, procedures, and protocols that y'all may want to adopt by a majority vote. And then that's about it. Now I will note, I caught that I don't think we have every member listed here as signing it yet, but before, if you do decide to vote on it, we will fix that and we'll have like a formal version for you to sign at the next meeting, if that works. So I apologize for that. Yes,
So the bylaws that we got last month, we don't need those since this is the updated version.
you don't need those now.
I know it's like a big so.
Those are like,
Question, I just want to make sure we didn't need to hang on to them for any reason.
and what we'll do is we'll disseminate the final version of these once they are voted on to be adopted to all of y'all, so you can have an electronic copy. And if you prefer a printed copy, we can always print a copy and bring it to y'all at the next meeting. Whatever. So are there any questions about this or any changes that you noted? Other than that typo I thought, like full names. Well, then I'll turn it back over to you, Madam Chair.
All right, so we will actually move on to new business, which is number 1, icebreaker.
So just point of order, I don't know if y'all are ready to accept these and formally adopt them, but if you did, we would require a vote.
So did we want to, I guess I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Before we accept these, I suggest that we get the final version.
Okay,
With you adding every member's name.
okay.
As well as, there's something else that someone else wanted to be clarified. Is that it? I think.
I think it's just like a typo, but we'll fix
Typo.
that.
Okay. I mean, if, that's what I suggest, that we wait to get the final copy before we vote, and we can vote on the next meeting.
Since she's.
No, she doesn't have to move. We can just keep it on the agenda and we'll just.
Okay.
Okay. Sounds good. Thank you.
All right, so moving on to new business, icebreaker.
Yes. Okay, so I'm gonna call up Joseph D'Angelo, who you may remember from the last meeting, for those of you who were here, our Chief Data Officer. He looks very timid, but
Well, I have to,
Is it true or is it?
he's not as scary as he seems, I promise.
I have to apologize for my tardiness. I am in a civic design class and tonight was our first meeting and they went right to the bell. But I appreciate the ability to be here tonight. So this calls for us to break into about, want to be respectful because time quickly, so we kind of move into the part that we're going to get to tonight. But
Scoot over your.
is this better, Gino, or is it? You should have an X here. Like, there should be a mark.
Right.
So I don't know if y'all want to try to arrange yourselves into 3 groups, maybe. We'll take maybe 5 or 7 minutes.
You just want to count off?
Do those two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, y'all got it?
All right.
No, I love it.
So these, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll take this one.
I love it.
I've been sending lots of
Persona test.
signs.
We're gonna ask you as a group to come up with at least 10 things that y'all have in common with one another. And it can't be like we're all wearing shoes. It has to be something like, I want to go a little deeper, you know?
How much time do we have?
Let's say 7 minutes. And then,
This is gonna be recorded for the public, right?
when we finish that, we're gonna share out.
All right.
And I know it sounds silly, but we're moving towards really building that framework, developing empathy for each other and kind of overcoming ambiguity.
So I think
Oh, yeah.
Got okay handwriting.
Y'all, not your first rodeo.
Okay, I'm gonna wanna take it because I'm struggling right now. For a fall festival at my school, we were supposed to like my nails. I haven't worn nails in forever, so I'm struggling today. It's like you've never.
we're all, no, and I used to do my nails done every 2 weeks for like a year, and then I had to sign. And then I have one.
Yes.
Yeah, they were longer than I thought they were. And then I put the first 3 on and I was like, wait,
Everyone's.
I literally did this like.
It is my favorite.
We are an autumnal team, y'all. Okay, you know, the earring.
I do.
Wait, I'll see.
Yeah. I did play.
Yeah, but I did watch it and I was already to see. I'm so, like genuinely, like genuinely, I'm supposed to wear this.
I like less.
That's favorite
None of us have children out of the womb.
Less like.
I love them.
Listen to your children.
Oh,
None of us have human children.
Yeah, there we go.
None of us have physically independent human children.
I'm sharing.
Shoot it.
More from her.
Yeah. That's a good one.
Everybody.
Yeah, it's like one of the furthest.
Do you experience allergies?
Yes.
Yep. Okay.
Sibling.
I bring that up because I'm staring right now.
JID.
At least one.
Okay, no problem.
What was it?
I was
All right, like I'm old, they should not be alive anymore, I'd say that was wrong. That'd be very
Yeah, you're not. Yeah.
That's not sure.
Just everybody get here.
I'm excited to have the opportunity.
That's what inspired me.
I was wearing them all day, I took them in like bright no.
Okay.
Yes, absolutely the Oxford copy. The one where
There's a
they have decided that we have a compound, not a
They're in
compound.
You have one, but I don't have it. So is justice in the car.
So like, no, goddamn it, I'm still gonna put a comma before the end.
And
That would be the
Like
Oxford.
Tucker.
I always do that.
People are like, they're.
I always do that.
Yeah.
That's a good thing, okay.
There used to be a
Pro
website.
Oxford.
Wait, who suggested that? That's adorable. Less.
Yeah.
Pro.
Yeah, but it's not thought, yeah. Yeah, Cameron was like, okay, so you don't go for second comments.
Yes, I have to pivot there.
Or any of
A
us
little bit more
employees.
personal question, but.
Send it a PDF.
Hey,
There we go.
We are some, we're a ton of loving
Yeah.
people.
Love it.
You know.
You are. Phrase that a little bit better.
If you want to.
Phrase that a little bit better.
Queer's just the word that I
We
use,
are
but I was.
all In the
LGBTQ.
yes.
You can just say so.
Community.
Not all time, but
Yeah, it's for the questioning of do I have siblings? I love that.
Are we the only girl?
Okay.
7 out of 10.
That's good. No,
That's
I'm trying to think.
I know we've been like.
no, I literally had this one and I'm like, y'all are just impressed so much. I'm like just sitting here.
Let's see how high we
Neither. I'm 17.
Great.
I was there. So he adopted us. I'm so big.
That's good.
Yeah.
We all been out of the country.
How long have you been?
Oh, I love gardening.
I love gardening.
I'm sorry. You can stop, but you like it.
I hate my plants.
Everyone loved it. It was great.
That's the plan. What's your favorite color?
That's a good one.
Around 7, 8 years.
Okay. Have we all been in Athens?
I love baking. I love baking. Love cooking. I love
I'm going on.
This is like the season.
Okay.
Iced coffee or something?
I left twice.
How long?
Blue and black.
How long have y'all lived in Athens?
It can be negative degrees outside. I was still behind in high school. The lady at McDonald's by my school.
So y'all been here more.
You guys need.
That's often, yeah.
I love coffee.
I will need the phone Oreos.
Oreos is the hard. Yeah, I definitely do the twist.
We all those. There we go.
We all.
Good season for that.
Oh.
Let's take 4 more minutes.
I can't swim. I can't ride a bike. I can't skate.
4 more minutes.
Yes.
I was thinking.
Love myself singing.
Well, Cameron agrees with that. That could be our.
Like all morning get sushi and they call it.
Do you like?
I love
The second.
Okay, here's one that really resonates with me.
It's $5 for
It's
2 days.
one of my preferred states of existence. It's
No, for real, like
So bring on a slipper, a sweater, a fuzzy blanket, but like I love.
My pants are
County.
Sir?
as soon as I not leave the house. As soon as I come in the house.
Surprise.
Are gonna hate me.
You're not cozy.
I will lay down.
Like snowed good in Georgia. Like baked twice a year.
So you don't need all the.
Well, we can.
No.
Yeah.
I do not hate you for it at all. I just.
I would want.
Three, like there's 7 together all the time.
Yeah, I can't. Like, if I am going to do it, it's like that mental thing. Tell myself.
If you had to do it, Katie, what's the?
It's all tied together with your, I don't know, Rifle
I
County.
mean, I do both, but I do prefer a top to force me to drink.
Okay.
Showers and baths, shower or bath.
When do you all shower?
In the morning.
Me living here. Took me some time, so I used to have to drive out to say.
No.
Yeah.
One of the shops.
Beach. Do you all have plans for the room?
Yep.
Yeah.
I was getting
I
tired.
don't know when. I can't.
Halloween.
Halloween crazy. Have y'all ever been on a? I'm a
It's
cat.
like Halloween.
Have y'all ever been on a sleep?
It's downtown Athens. It's
Saturday evening.
and it is one of the biggest parades.
They're gonna-
I'm in a parade.
1 minute, y'all. 1 minute.
They're not tree.
Yes.
I do. I
Actually,
feel way flip.
I guess I didn't.
Keep up with it as much as I have to.
I love. I never like to hear
Radios,
less
but that's
about, but
good.
well, I do. love.
Learn another language.
I know, right?
We hit the wall.
We did.
I got a force.
I can speak some of certain languages.
No, I was thinking of that myself. I don't.
Y'all have it balanced.
Yes.
Yes.
There
I
we
just-
go.
I like how you say not.
Oh, I love fishing. I have a boat.
I did too. Oh, watching or actually doing? Oh, watching? I'll watch the sport. Y'all like your
I'm the youngest.
I was talking about UVA versus. Oh, very solid.
That was a sad game.
Time? Okay, Cameron's saying it's time.
Look at us, we did how many?
13 and 7 minutes.
Wait, how many do we have? Oh, we only need two more.
Honestly, I'm so glad.
Yes.
All right, everybody ready with their top 10 or more?
No.
Oh, easy. Who said no? Which group said no? Y'all?
No, we're.
Oh, you're good?
Oh, you're ready. Okay.
All right. You want to let it rip?
Sure.
All right.
Okay. Our 10 commonalities. We were all raised in Georgia.
Had a little.
Okay.
We all know how to drive and we have a Georgia driver's license. We're all over 25 years old.
Oh, you can't try.
Obviously, we all were appointed to HRC.
Okay.
We all have siblings. We all are Georgia football fans. We all are iPhone and Apple Watch owners. We all enjoy hip hop and R&B music. We all have visited at least 5 states in the country. And we've all lived in Athens for 10 plus years.
Oh, dang.
All right.
Yay for the decade crowd.
That was Georgia fan.
I mean, I'll say that. Who's next?
We got it.
Okay. Everybody listening? Everybody here? Yes.
Okay, we were all born in Georgia. We're all here because we want to better the community. Fall is all of our favorite time of year. None of us have human children. Allergies, we're all pro Oxford comma people.
Oh.
We are all in the LGBTQ plus community. We all have pets. We are all voters. We are all willing to do more than 10. We all have our ears pierced. We're all right-handed and we all have siblings.
Okay. Like the data person, if you want to, what are the chances that you have, 4 people all have Apple devices and all 4 people are right-handed? It seems like.
And like Oxford commas.
What do you mean by willing to do more than 10?
10, we're supposed to do 10 like things, you know? So for the 10th one, I was like, we're all willing to do more than 10 because we just want to.
Very nice.
Brilliant.
Very nice. Okay.
All right.
Here at Danielle.
All right. So we all, even though not currently are, but we all wear glasses. We are all currently wearing earrings and have our ears pierced. That was a struggle. We'll get through. We are all not currently married. We all love baking. We are all in team coffee, not tea. We all like sushi. Some of us love it. We've all at one point or another made a snowman.
Good man.
We have all been on a plane and we are all Android users and we might have stole that from y'all because we're still at 9 and for 10, we are okay with only having 9.
Yeah. You can send us.
All right.
There you go.
Couldn't have done it without.
Check on your feet.
Okay, so what did y'all notice in that? Obviously, we were doing it just to get y'all to talk to each other. I mean, that's a given, right? Like, an opportunity to get to know each other. Because I think this group nailed, you're all on the HRC. Right? But what else what were your takeaways from this? Did you have any takeaways? Was there
We
anything?
have more in common than we realize.
You can always just find the commonalities with somebody and instead of like focusing on differences, focus on the commonalities, you know, and just get along with people. People are so interesting, you know?
Awesome. Well, I hope you found it worthwhile and worth your time.
I have a question for the
Of
record. Was this what Nikki had planned too?
It was, yeah.
Johnstown, it was great.
I will.
I had some alternative ones, which I'm keeping in my back pocket. I
Uh-oh.
don't know if they're gonna go over as big. There were a couple that Sarah just said, nope.
A couple. I was like, that's a little lame.
So next, so two more things we want to do tonight. Again, kind of setting forth the framework for our work plan, which will come in our next session together. And then also kind of overcoming some ambiguity. We have four kind of core tenets of this group. They are, and I realize these are all terrible reads from here. You probably can't even read them. Harmony, mutual respect, equal opportunity, and human dignity. Yours are worse than mine. But so two things we want to come out of with this next exercise are to try to put together a pretty comprehensive mission statement. And two, come up with our shared definitions of these four terms, which I'll try to make them a little clearer on the pages up here. But y'all have, each group has got four different colors of Post-it notes somewhere on some of y'all's tables. Maybe I doubled up on one group, is that happening?
Yeah,
We got
don't
the.
have the.
There you go.
Okay.
Thank you.
Can I interject before you go into the instructions?
Yeah.
Y'all recognize these words and phrases? Where have y'all seen these?
Bylaws.
There you
They're
go.
in the bylaws, but where else are they? They're in the ordinance, right?
The ordinance, yes.
And they're pretty ambiguous, right? And when I say human dignity, what my interpretation of that may be different than yours. It may be different than a resident in our community. And so this shared language hopefully will help communicate what these words really mean to this group, considering it is such a fundamental core piece of how this body was formed, and the mission that y'all serve. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, so you'll see also that in the upper, well, they're not in the upper right corners. In the corners of these pages for each term, you've got a Post-it note color. If y'all can, as a group, take some time, and I won't even say how much time because time is meaningless.
It's a construct.
I'm very instructed. I haven't figured that out by yet. I kind of am a go with the flow kind of person. There's good conversation, but
And y'all can attack this however you want. You have enough Post-it notes that you can write down your individual definitions of each term and then try to come to a consensus, which might be my recommendation. If you want to set aside 4 or 5 minutes, try to define each term on your own. And then kind of come back together and choose your favorite one or two as a group of each term. Am I being clear? I don't think I'm being clear. And just kind of confine your definition to the appropriate color of Post-it note, come to a consensus, and then we'll put them up here and we'll read them out and we'll talk about them and try to distill down to a single definition of each of these terms. And then if we have time, yes.
Oh, no, continue. I was.
If we have time, we'll try to shape kind of a mission statement for this group, but I don't know.
we may not have time. If not, we'll pivot it to the next regular meeting. So
Do I understand correctly that we are first working as individuals and then a small group and then a large group? So our group will come to a consensus before we take it over to the wall? Is that
Yes.
right?
Yeah,
correct.
kind of like a 1, 2, 4 thing. 1, 2,
1, 2, 3.
3, I guess. Yeah.
Okay. Any other questions? Go. Okay, go.
I'm just gonna use my paper and
I'm
then
not gonna know.
unless you want us all to use.
I can give you all some
Oh,
more, yeah,
perfect.
here.
We only have one other blue one.
I can't do the same.
Okay.
Ice cream.
Goes up without one.
Oh, we've got extras.
Find those four.
And if you can't read them, they're equal opportunity, human dignity, mutual respect.
Let's try that.
Close to, I have equal opportunity and human dignity, because they could say that.
I'm gonna write them on there.
Comment.
Put them up.
Oh, yes.
No, actually, can you send it to me, please? As a Word document? I have formatting issues.
No.
Access. Difference between, feels like a pop quiz.
Should not. There's not a right or wrong answer. That's why it's a group activity.
Yes.
Hey, y'all can talk whenever you're ready.
I just sort of jot set down, I know the right date. There's one of those things.
You can tell me what school.
Oh.
Just phrased it. Basically, all persons have value and self-determination, which should be respected and maintained. Self-determination, human dignity, social.
I was giving
A lot of
somebody
times
grace
it's
for
really
their
things that I may seem objectively better for somebody, but if it's not what they.
I said, I'm glad for the human spirit.
Big parts of it. Like desires for a situation.
For somebody else.
Yeah.
Which that's what made it.
Yeah.
Okay, so. That's what I kind of put for mutual. If they
The
don't.
commission has to provide information, you've got barriers to opportunity, but at the end of the day, subject
I said,
to the decision that they're gonna make.
finding common ground.
Part of human
Yeah, but see,
how you develop self-determination.
yeah. I actually was respect, within my head, I respect, for one another, just being respectful for each individuals. Just like you said. I had a question mark. I put togetherness, I literally did one where. Which color is that? Like every.
So,
Did you have?
I prefer not to do my hand. That's like chicken scratch. I prefer to read it.
I like the way he brought it down.
Have this demonstrate them, all persons have value and self-determination and shall be respected and maintained.
Yeah.
So. Persons have value and self-determination, which shall be respected and maintained. Their definitions are really good though. What equal? It's just not a license labs.
Okay.
Like regardless of like yourself.
Like, so with that.
We can always get back with you. Do you have a preference?
Value your
No, So it was access without.
Or at least give them to your group.
Okay. Am I gonna leave this with you? Because we have.
I said acknowledgements. Very loving.
It's nice. Talk. Yeah.
Make sure this, yeah.
Yeah.
We'll certainly talk about that. Great, because they. All of it.
I said, critic is paid that last.
Harmony is where I. I didn't. A reality.
Sorry, not to.
Because I. The way that.
Yeah, but.
Putting the word equitable in there undermines the.
Interesting. I don't have to spend it, so I wonder how the common ground got perceived. I'm sorry.
They will be coming back to it. Yeah.
Hard. I was like, I don't know where to put it, so I was like, here you go.
As well as the opportunity to represent no matter sex, origin, religion, or orientation.
Oh, we did yours.
Yeah. There's really no.
Everybody getting along. I believe that we can always.
Should we take it by each one? Like read all of them?
Read all in harmony and then read all human
Creating a space allows the
Good night, guys. I'll see you guys soon. And then, so moving on to this harmony over here. Define harmony as valuing and enacting peace, compassion, and concord.
I'm just.
I can do.
Write them, the one write them on the steps.
and values.
I can take it. I just didn't.
Together to produce.
Like
You have good.
You don't.
Be proud of us, yes, we do. Yeah, you do. Look, even with the.
Right.
Sex, comma,
I shot it.
Beautiful.
origin, the nails.
So I said
Because I was.
that harmony is the experience that is found in mutual respect, human dignity.
I did it for the first time.
I think these things yield, not that it always. is.
Anyway, one from what Sarah.
Yeah.
Settle with the vendors. Are you down to? Like a funnel cake donut truck. So this one's. College students.
I think that these are the things that I heard in yours.
So I can see it. Ruined. I think you're good. Or, so congruence rather than other vision. And if so, tell me a little bit.
For the value. That's part of my
Oh, because I thought it was cursive at first.
Not to go down the whole like
Third grade.
tolerance paradox rabbit.
Okay, which one?
A sense of value others' opinions by listening well,
Mine is like.
response, as well as acknowledging differences and not letting them
I think we
about how you
it was
perceive
living
that.
again today.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They did
Perfect.
Might have done it.
I started writing in like definition form, I was like.
That's right. I'll take it.
That was me last week, so I understand.
I love you.
We have
We're trying to maintain harmony. We're not trying to. Okay.
Right.
Got you saying, and we just select next one down there.
I don't have to.
I guess you can. Okay.
Yeah.
If it's helpful and I don't have strong feels.
I couldn't sleep, I was like fever dreams and I couldn't get out of, like, I would think I was asleep, but I would dream so heavily and so vividly, and when I woke up, I was just exhausted.
There is
It was like-
not uniform belief, but there is a trust.
I went to the R.
Which very much what you're saying with the notes, like.
Ready to call time, you're in a lot of comments.
Some of many.
Give,
Essentially the language.
6 more minutes.
That's what I was- So what I did for this moment is I did cohesion / congruence, so. Did we, where we just? I'm sorry, 2 more minutes.
And if you don't get done, that's fine.
Okay.
Revisit this next time.
Okay, so let's see, is there anything else about harmony? We have respect, we have. I like. Unless you were doing circle.
So name whatever we land on a table, what harmony is and.
Yes.
Need to have diet.
So,
Resulting from mutual respect, human dignity, and equal opportunities.
Done two jobs and.
Mission state.
or should I say yields, not from, just resulting from.
I think it's, I'm not gonna be fought.
This is.
Somebody else is not even like.
Equal opportunity. Okay.
That's good. A good
We'll
start.
move along now.
If you don't mind.
Not at all.
Sure. Happy to help.
Equal opportunity means to me that each individual deserves judgment or bias. The kids going. Same opportunity without judgment about where they are or where they are. Equal opportunity, all regardless of race, religion, class, sexuality, and otherwise, has the comparable access to the same resources and opportunities.
I just put peaceful and equitable.
Yeah, I have something similar to that, but access. I guess.
For the equitable one there, just because.
resources. I got them and then I got the notification that we have like I read everything like earlier this week.
Yes.
And I got the notification.
I realized that you opportunities. It's an opportunity.
Meeting buddy.
Yeah, it was hard, yeah. It's-
I was like,
Right.
I'm sure there-
Helping your language again, access to resources.
Social.
yeah, true. But like my mom picked him up from.
Yeah, that one really ringing my bell. That one located.
Mine is a
All right.
layman speak or layperson speak, a leveling of the playing field with equities. I always say it as giving all persons the resources they need to be successful as their neighbor.
Still cooking.
Like you're always trying to make everyone else successful as the
Okay, we step up here, boss.
the other.
I like that.
We'll jump back and we'll revisit this next time too, but we want to at least report out and hear what the group.
Man, y'all were like coordinated, like you fanned out.
They've been in Athens for 10 years. They're very well practiced.
Okay.
All right. So should we read these over tonight or should we debrief next time around? Take them back with us.
I think we should read them tonight and then we can all take notes and think about them. And then be thinking about a mission statement and then forward.
This is my yard chair.
All right, Sarah, do you want to start with harmony?
Sure, and I apologize if I can't read handwriting. I will do my best. Can everyone hear me?
Yeah.
Loud enough? Okay, so for harmony, we have, which I think these are all great, existing and getting along in the same space. All persons have value and self-determination, which shall be respected and maintained. Respect, cohesion, congruence resulting from mutual respect, human dignity, and equal opportunity. I think we got a lot to go on there. Okay, Joseph, take it away.
We're gonna do human dignity now. Human dignity, we all ended up with two definitions. Somebody. Oh. Oh, no.
We have more, we just didn't cohesively combine them
I
yet.
think we.
You're not congruent.
Harmony on, I don't know, or harmony goes up there.
Shamey, remember?
We put our human dignity sticker on harmony covers.
Oh, wow, okay.
I think we put our human dignity sticker.
Oh,
Y'all went to that one.
oh, gosh, you know what? I didn't even catch that. I just saw an H.
Also, equal opportunity is whatever happens back here, I'm skipping over equal opportunity. So one group says access regardless of circumstances. And then another group says creating a space that allows differences to be heard, seen, and valued, as well as the opportunity to represent no matter sex, origin, religion, orientation, or disabilities. packed in and one posted.
Okay, mutual respect, and I'm gonna test whether or not I need glasses.
Oh, I super need glasses. I'm falling back on the handwriting, but it's really.
Okay, so value others' opinions by listening while others are speaking and giving an appropriate response, as well as acknowledging differences and not letting them define how you perceive the individual in this line of work. Finding common ground without perceived biases.
All right. And finally, human dignity. Giving someone grace because they are human. Right to the point. All persons value and self-determination, which shall be respected and maintained. And then harmony and peacefully coexisting.
Okay, well, we appreciate y'all taking the time to start this exercise. We'll continue this next time. So for those of you who didn't finish combining your responses, if you want me to save those and bring them back next time, I'm happy to do that. But kind of where we want this to go is we're going to use these definitions to help inform your mission statement that y'all are going to create. So we will do that at the next meeting. And I did want to point out, because it was pointed out to me by Joseph back there, that the next regularly scheduled meeting actually lands on the Wednesday before Thanksgiving. So I'll share that with y'all in case there's any change to that needs to be made, but I'll leave that to the chair to work with y'all to determine how y'all want to address that. But basically our plan is that we'll come back, we'll do a shared mission statement with y'all next time, and then we'll continue to try to work through the work plan. So how's that sound? Yes.
It sounds great, but can we talk about that now?
Of course.
I suggest that we move that up a week. For people maybe moving out of town, I know I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, there's also a fifth Wednesday in November. I didn't mean to talk over.
Oh, a fifth Wednesday in November.
So the Wednesday after?
It could be the Wednesday.
You do before or after.
May I would like to put in a personal request for before I'm due right on Thanksgiving. So
Oh,
before would be.
All by all means. Other to be. In agreement with the week prior to. Okay.
Wednesday before Thanksgiving, same time. And is this place still at work for y'all? Located on?
Yeah,
Okay. Well, that sounds good. We'll send out a meeting. We'll just send out an email just to let the whole group know for those members who aren't in attendance that the meeting date has been moved. And then I will turn it back over to Chair.
Okay,
For any kind of meeting closeout that you want.
no, so we just scheduled the next meeting. I did want to mention, I know I sent out an email in reference to the retreat. Just got information that what was gonna.
Joseph has jury duty
That's right.
and he is an integral part of this. And as you've already, Joseph.
Let's change the name.
Trainings, I would appreciate it.
So Joseph has jury duty, so that kind of threw a wrench in our our retreat plans.
So because of that, and we've already rescheduled this meeting for the 16th of November, we can just have that day be our retreat planning as well, right?
We can. Mhm.
Okay, we're all good with that? All right, so the retreat has been moved from the 9th to the 16th. And I'll send out an email to everyone as a reminder.
And the time, please? 6 to 8?
Time will be 6.
Oh,
Well.
So
we have
if
to
you're
adjust that.
open to it for the retreat, we're hoping to have an additional hour. But if the group's not amenable to that, we'll work with what we can get. But ideally 2 hours, as you can tell, even with just the bylaws part. So the next meeting, we'll also have to do a vote on the bylaws. But that should be fairly quick. 2 hours gives us a little bit more time to actually get work done, but totally up to y'all.
No, we can extend that from 6 to
8.
8 instead of 6 to 7. Yeah.
I'd rather go later than.
Yep.
Okay.
Awesome. All right, so, that is it from me. Adjourned.
Make a motion to adjourn.
There you go.
And then a vote, all in favor?
All in favor? All right.
Thanks, everybody.
I love this group. Y'all are an excellent group to work with. I'm looking forward to